What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new video here on my YouTube channel. And for those of you that are new around here and don't know who I am, my name's Aaron. I create travel photography and videography content here on YouTube. So if that is something that does interest you, be sure to subscribe to the channel. But as you can tell by the title and thumbnail, today we are discussing how you can budget for a trip to London. How expensive is London? Now, I've recently done a video on how expensive is Paris, and this video is going to follow the same structure for anyone who is looking to travel around London. So if you do find this video useful at any point, be sure to let me know by leaving a like on the video. Put any comments or questions down below in the comment section, and check out the linked playlist on screen right now, which is all of my London-based travel videos. But let's just jump straight to it. Okay, so just like the Paris video, I'm going to break this down into 4 sections, which is going to be accommodation, food and drink, transport, and then everything else, which is basically your activities. But we're going to start off with accommodation. Now, just like Paris again, most people go to London for a city break kind of thing. So for this trip, again, like Paris, I'm going to be budgeting for 3 to 4 days or 3 to 4 nights. So let's take a look at some accommodation options. Now, a bed in a hostel in a shared dorm is going to set you back between £20 and £35. So just like Paris, it's quite expensive, and not just in terms of the world, but in terms of Europe. Most places in Europe will be cheaper than that, but Paris, Amsterdam, Italy and London, you're probably looking at the most expensive places. Okay, so in terms of average prices for hotels, I've got some prices wrote down here, which is an average for a 3-star hotel is £84 per night, and then for a 4-star it's £128 per night, and for 5-star it's £232 per night. So if you are going to be budget traveling or just traveling like most backpackers do, you're probably best going for a dorm, a bed in a hostel. Even though it doesn't seem cheap at £20 to £35 per night compared to what you can get in the rest of the world, it's going to be your cheapest option by quite a way in London. Unless you can couch surf or find some alternative on Airbnb, a hostel is going to be the best for the budget travellers. And then the hotels in London are quite nice anyway, so I wouldn't recommend going 5 or 4-star. If you want to push it, to go to 4-star, but 3-star is pretty reasonable in London. So pick it based on your travel needs. If you are a budget traveller like most people, then hostel is your best option. Okay, next up is food and drink, and I'm obviously going to break it down into the meals, but breakfast can actually be free if you're staying in a hostel or a hotel where they may provide a free breakfast buffet. But I would look into it, because sometimes they just include it in this price that you're paying to stay there, so the price may actually go up before you book it and they advertise it as a free breakfast, which it's just not. But if you do have a free breakfast, that's great. Dig in, get all the food you can get. If not, it's not going to set you back much more than £10. So if you do go out and get breakfast, £10 is probably the most, and that will be like a full English breakfast with drinks and stuff like that. Most people just go to Costa, Starbucks or Pret or something like that, and that's not going to set you back any more than £5 if you just want to get a coffee and a croissant. So breakfast in London can be quite cheap. Now, this is where London kind of differs from Paris. Again, if you do stock up a breakfast with your free breakfast buffet at the hotel, then you can have your lunch sorted. But lunch in London gets a bit more pricey. Now, you can go to a takeaway or some kind of fast food joint and just get some food for maybe £5 to £6. But if you actually want to go to a restaurant or a cafe with drinks, it can start to go up to between £10 and £15 just for lunch. So my best option would be to actually either go to a fast food place, eat in your hostel, or go to a supermarket and make your own lunch, because then you can really bring the price down. If you are on a budget, go out and buy the food themselves and make the food yourself at your hostel or hotel or even on the go, and you're probably only going to be looking at £2 or £3. Now, in terms of dinner, it can range between £5 and £30 per person, to be honest with you. If you want to go to somewhere like McDonald's, then you could probably get something for a £5, but if you want to go to a touristy type of restaurant, you could be looking at upwards of £30, to be honest with you, per person with drinks and stuff like that. It depends where you choose to go. Obviously, on average, I'd say it's probably about £20 per person. Some good options are Nando's. That's actually quite cheap. It's a chicken place for those of you that aren't from the UK, and you can get a meal really for £10 to £15 per person, so it's a really good option. So check that out if you are coming to the UK. Now, in terms of alcohol, beer in a restaurant is probably around £4 or £5, and if you actually go to the supermarket, you can get a pack of 6 or 8 for the exact same price. And if you just wanted to get one beer in a supermarket, it's probably going to be about £1 or £2. So it's obviously much cheaper to get it at a supermarket. And in terms of a glass of wine, it's probably about the same price as a beer if you're drinking out, and the same goes for a bottle in a supermarket. Okay, next up is transport, and obviously in London the main form of transport is the tube. It's quite famous, the Underground, and basically An off-peak single is £2.30 and then a peak single is £2.90. But if you actually get an Oyster card, you can actually top it up. It's like a top-up service. You put it on a machine, you put the amount of money you want to purchase, and it goes onto your card, and then you use that constantly. And I believe it actually gets capped at £9 per day. So even if you have multiple journeys, you could have 10 journeys that come in at £2.30. It will just get capped at £9. So once you've reached that £9 limit for that day, you're not going to spend any more, so that's a good thing to know about. And then actually when you leave London, if you have no intention of coming back, the £5 deposit that you put down on your Oyster card, you can actually get back. So be sure to do that before you actually leave, and any credit that was left on it also gets refunded back to you. So that's a good option to have. And just check out some of the other transport options that are on screen right now, so you can just take a look at the prices. You can pause the video and just take a look if any of these apply to you. It's mainly from airports and so on. And that just leaves us with everything else, the activities, the other stuff. And to be honest with you, the museums in London are quite decent, and most of them are free, so that's a good thing to know about. But apart from that, everything is pretty expensive, I can't lie to you, whether it be the London Eye or the Shard. The price is pretty hefty, so I'm going to have the prices on screen right now, and you can pause the video and just take a look at some of the activities and the price of them and whether you get any types of discount. But I would budget for between £20 and £30 per day for London activities because they are quite pricey. Now, if you watched the Paris video, you will know I'm not about to give you a grand total, and if you've not watched the video, you've just found out. And the reason is because this is a guide, this is a guidance for your travels to London. I'm not going to give you a grand total of this is how much you're going to spend, absolutely nailed on. Don't take any more, don't take any less. That's not what it's about. And obviously this doesn't include air transfers. So if you are coming from America or any other part of the world where you do need to fly to London, or even within the UK, if you need to get a train down to London, this isn't included because obviously you guys are coming from different parts of the world. So bear that in mind when you are budgeting. And this budget can obviously differ depending on how you travel as an individual person. So do bear that in mind. But if you did find this video useful, be sure to let me know by leaving a like. Put any comments or questions down below in the comment section, and I'll get back to them as soon as I can. Go and check out the rest of the London-based content, which will be linked on screen and in the description. And obviously, if you are new around here, be sure to subscribe to the channel. But thank you for watching, guys. Till next time, goodbye.